You know, adults always ask college kids, well, what field are you going into? And if I were honest, I would have had to say, trying to hook up with as many chicks as I can and party a lot. But I'm not that dumb. It was a big dilemma for me. Well, why am I here in college? What am I doing? What's my purpose in life? And I finally figured out that my purpose in life was to learn how to be a man. And so I looked around at all of my college professors, and there was not one that I respected as a man. There was one professor that I really respected, though, and she was a lesbian drama teacher. And I took all of her classes. I just loved her. We had so much fun. She was so cool. And she got me a job as an instructor in experimental theater. I was the only undergraduate that ever had a teaching job there. It was amazing. And then with a core group of women, a few brothers, Driscoll, Johnny B, and I, but mostly women, mostly lesbians, we did some cutting edge shows, outrageous stuff. We did some not so amazing shows too. They didn't have a theater major, so I took a lot of psych classes, and just by accident, I'd taken so many psych classes, I had enough units to graduate. It wasn't anything I planned. So I graduated in 1969, and I entered an experimental psych program to get a master's in psych. But I dropped out to go to New York City because my friend Barbara had written a play, and Lenny the was going to direct it. She asked me if I'd come out, and I said, you know, Lenny, if you were directing the phone book, I'd come. And it was the kind of show I loved. Half of the people walked out totally baffled, and there was a core group of people that came to every show. That's the most far out thing I've ever seen. I'd rather have 10% of people saying that's amazing and 90% of the people pissed off. And after it closed, we got back on our VW bus, drove back to Sonoma County. And my buddy Greg was starting a new nightclub in Napa. And after it, it opened up, this little adventure happened. There's a true story about the first month or two the club opened. It's wonderful being a star. They just hand you things. Me and Donald Trump, we got it going on. I saw her standing at the end of the bar. Her bleached blonde hair's all done up in a beehive. She's drinking the glass, a house red wine, and she's looking right in my eye. She said she just left her old man, took her 3 kids and she split. Now she's looking for some excitement in her life. And she hopes it will be just like she dreamed it'd be all those years. She said she'd like to go out with me and she does not care where we go. She said she'd like to go out with me, and she does not care what we do. She's just looking for some excitement in her life, and she hopes it will be just like she dreamed it'd be all those years. She sat there, she hardly touched her dinner. She said, oh, I'm not very hungry. And when I reached out and touched her hand, she said, I never thought that you'd get here. I'm looking for some excitement in my life, and I hope it will be just like I dreamed it'd be all those years. At 2 o'clock, she jumped up. She said she had to get the sitter home. She thanked me for the dinner, and she really wanted me to know. She said, I've been looking for some excitement in my life. Now I know for sure I've been missing something all those years. One more verse to the song that never got written. And that was, she said, I've got something to tell you. And if you just had a, really wonderful time or intimate time with somebody, and then they say, I have something to tell you, the imagination can go wild. And then she said, no, I said, that's okay. And she said, well, everybody gets upset when I tell them this. And then the imagination really started to go wild. And she said, my husband is head of the narcotics union at the local police department. And he's been tapping my phone and following me around. And his name was Mad Dog Jones. I think it was like Mad Dog Johnson, but it was Mad Dog. It's like, now this is the early 70s. Pot is legal now, pretty much. But in those days, if you had a seed in your pocket, you get sent to prison. And it was scary, because everybody I knew smoked a joint. And so I called her and told her I was going back to my old girlfriend. I always think it's better to tell a little lie than let someone down nicely, rather than to say, I'm totally freaking out. The bad dog is tapping your phone and chasing you around, and he carries a gun.